Wassalatu wassalamu ala man la nabiyya ba'dahu wa ba'd. Praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May his peace and blessings be swelled upon his beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the one who fought tooth and nail for Islam to get to every corner of the world. I request Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bestow unto him and whoever is to follow his footsteps till the day of judgment. Allahumma ameen. First of all, I would like to thank the audience today. Thank you for sacrificing some minutes of your time just to spend them with me here. I request Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to note that for you and to reward you abundantly. Allahumma ameen. Hussein Ali Bulafu are my names. I'm an Islamic law consultant, lecturer at Islamic University in Uganda, Faculty of Islamic Studies and Arabic Language. I'm a proud Mugisu. Yes, I'm a married man. At least someone calls me husband, and some other people call me a father, a proud one. So I'm a father, I'm a brother, and I'm a husband. Islamic dating and marriage. How many of us here are married? Just to check whether I'm with the right people. You're all single? MashaAllah. Some good news here at the beginning. So of course I won't ask how many of us here are single, because if you're not married, you're single. Okay, how many of we are dating? Maybe you're seeing someone, in whatever status. Is it complicated or maybe something like that? So long as you're seeing someone. Do we have any? Okay. I would like to introduce this series with two principles. One, if you're married, you will make sense out of whatever we are to discuss, and maybe you might rectify what went wrong even when you're married. If you're not yet in marriage, this is the right time for you. I promise you, I will try my level best to make sense and maybe guide you Islamically the whereabouts of the Islamic style of dating. I normally feel proud whenever I say, if you dare adopt the Islamic style of dating, you will never find any regrets when you switch to marriage. The challenge is, if you call it off when you're dating, like it or not, if you do not get any challenges as you switch to marriage, look for me. Maybe you're just blind, not seeing those challenges. Islamic dating, I wanted to dedicate today's session to love. Whoever is dating claims they're in love. You're all obsessed with some statements like love is blind. Maybe when you love someone, you feel like you need to do everything for them. But the biggest myth and misconception that needs to be rectified as Muslims who are ready to switch to marriage, or maybe who are ready to welcome the Islamic style of dating, I think we really have to revise our definition of love. Whoever is in love today, everyone respectively, they have their own definition. If you've started your love story today, trust me, you're having a very different definition of love as compared to someone who has just ended a relationship, isn't it? That's why we even have some statements like from each gender respectively. You find a lady, maybe a girl, a young girl, Muslimah, and then she's like, to hell with men, all men are dogs, something like that. Or maybe when it's a gent, the gentleman will be like, today's world you will never find a righteous wife, so all I have to do is to keep my position, not until I switch to the rightful wife. By the end of today's introductory session, you will get to know the real definition of love. Al-Mufti Sha'rawi, he's a Muslim elite. He was, rather, rahimahullah. He defined love in a statement that I find too interesting. How I wish we adopt to this definition. Al-Hubbu huwa tawajjuhu al-qalb ila al-mahbub. What love is the attachment. What love is, perfect, it's now clear. What love is, this is when your heart feels attached to whoever or maybe to something you claim you love. And when he was proceeding, he was like, huwa tawajjuhu al-qalb ila al-mahbub tawajjuh yarbit naf'aka aw naf'ahu binaf'ika. The style of attachment that we are discussing today is the attachment that is too positive with whoever you claim you love, even to the level of getting to the negativity, the attachment still is positioned where it belongs. So literally Imam Sha'rawi was like busy trying to summarize out of the very many definitions we all have of love. He was like, Al-Hubbu, it's as simple as saying, it's easy if your heart feels attached to anyone or maybe to anything. That's the love Sha'rawi is trying to portray. To the level of, if something you claim that you love, or maybe if someone you claim that you love gets something good, the happiness is mutual. And if at all someone, or maybe something you claim you love, gets something bad, maybe something bad gets onto it, or maybe someone you claim you love isn't feeling fine, the sadness is mutual, and that's a definition Sha'rawi brings to us. What I feel interesting whenever I'm trying to explain this definition is, Wallahu al-Azim, today, we don't even differentiate the love that is supposed to be given to human beings and the love that is supposed to be given to properties. And if at all the love you claim that you're having, I can't even imagine someone confessing after the end of the session saying that, Wallahu al-Azim, sincerely speaking, I thought I was in love, but by the end of today's session, you're going to get to know how authentic is your love. Or maybe the reason as to why it's not working every when you try out a relationship and you try to switch it, making it Islamic, maybe you don't even know how you love someone. You can't even analyze what's the kind of love you're having for someone. Lil hubbi manazil. Love has different kinds and types. The first one is al-hawa. Maybe in English it's the so-called lust, L-U-S-T. What's that? Yeah? It's more of emotions, and everyone is good at that. Al-hawa, it's a kind of love that is too temporary. You feel like you love someone. I think it's the right word to use is crush. You see someone, you feel like you're into them, but after a day, the following day, they are nothing to you. Al-hawa, that's a kind of love. And it's very bad if at all you consider that kind of love to propose to someone, or maybe to date someone, claiming you need them to be your wife, or maybe you need them to be your husband. It's the first step of love, al-hawa. And everyone experiences that. Yeah, whenever you feel attached to someone, you're like, okay, I think I should give it a thought. Everyone has that. Whoever you're having a crush on, that's the last I'm trying to mean. It's just too temporary. You feel like you find them attractive today, and then the following day, nothing like any attachment to them. Yeah, that's the first category, maybe the first kind. وَقَدْ يَنْتَهِي الْهَوَىٰ بِمُجَرَّدِ الرُّؤْيَةِ غَالِبًا. That kind of love normally dissolves if at all you critically look at whoever you feel attracted to. An example, maybe you're finding a lady attractive, yeah? Love at first sight, eh? I don't know why I'm too biased with such statements, eh? That we don't know any origin of them. Okay, love at first sight, okay, let's believe in that. Lady, maybe you see this gentleman, and then something within you is like, this is the Mr. Right, or maybe this is the Miss Right, eh? And then the definition of the first kind is ينتهي غالبا بمجرد الرؤية. If you intensify your look at whoever you claim you love, if at all this love isn't going to switch to the next level, it will definitely be called off at the first step, and that's al-hawa. The second step, as-sabwa, or maybe the other word is al-alaqa. Now after the hawa, after this temporary feeling that is too much of emotions, you feel you're attached. Because if I told you a youth, you're a grown up, you have emotions. You feel like you need someone. So the first step of love is biased, is into these emotions. And the second type, or maybe kind, it's like it's being elevated from the first step to the second step. And the second step, this is where the attachment starts from. Someone, maybe if I told you're too depressed, you're having a long day, just a mere look at them, you feel like you're relaxed, eh? Speaking to them, you feel the relaxation, eh? Maybe they like what you like, maybe your preferences are the same, maybe you get to some attachments, maybe of the same cause, maybe of the same tribe, those factors that may drive you closer and closer. That's the second kind of love, and you're just trying to build it. Yeah, surprisingly today we are too obsessed with the westernization. We try to propose to people even when the love has not yet matured. Because trust me, if at all you ever get to someone with the mere first kind of love, after a week, after a month, that's when you're going to realize the bad stuff about whoever you've already proposed to. And if at all you do it today, tomorrow, the third time, everyone will be like, this lady doesn't know what she likes. She's accepting this one and this one and this one. Reason being, you're not even giving yourself a chance for the feeling you're having to mature from step to step. And the second step is the attachment. You don't dare take that for granted. You really have to feel attached with whoever you think you're going to date. I'm really going to enjoy this series. Ask me why. Let me say this in the first very session. If I dare, my prayer as I was switching here was, I request Allah, the fact that as I was starting this session, I was too clear with my question, and I was like, how many of us are married? I never saw any hand up. Me, I'm married. So my dua is, I think this is a very nice place if at all my words inspire a couple here. And then you declare me maybe your guardian, or maybe your Islamic law consultant in line with your dating, eh? You're married also? So we are only two married people here. Maybe the rest, I welcome my brother Salah, senior journalist. Barakallahu fikum. Yeah. So my dua is, at least I will be very happy if at all I inspire a couple here, and then till the day of nikah. Eh? So the second kind of love is, this is where you get attached with someone. You feel they are close to you. Maybe you love what they love. Maybe they love what you love. What makes you sad makes them sad. So that's also another step of love, that you really have to give yourself a chance for this love to mature. Whatever I'm saying here isn't out of my mind. I dedicated some time, good time, to do some good research to deliver whatever I'm delivering. If at all you feel not convinced, the few minutes I'm having here aren't enough for me. At the end of the session, I will still be around. You switch to me and I will convince you more. The third step, al-wuddi, I will would. So this is a kind of love that is in the third level. After feeling attached to someone, have you ever felt like you're sick just because someone you claim you love isn't feeling fine? There's a certain one they normally use. You get to the hospital and the doctor is like, no, nothing is wrong with you. You're busy battling with your psychological challenges. Maybe you love this person so much. Maybe they have not yet picked your calls for some 2 days and you feel the world is ending. This is when you get to a point of saying, Wallahu al-Azim, if at all I don't love this someone, I don't know whether we'll ever fall in love again. Something like that. So you're merely maturing. And surprisingly, if at all you're not keen and observant enough, you will realize that you won't be in position to even get to know that maybe you're the first level, maybe the second level, or maybe the third level. And on the third level, this is when you're starting to mature in line with analyzing the kind of love you have for others. Let me pose a question. If you love someone, do you want them to do what you want them to do, or you're fine with them doing whatever they are doing and the love will still be present? Have you understood my question? In many cases, if we claim we love people, maybe if I say I love my brother, I'm literally meaning I enjoy seeing my brother doing whatever I'm ordering them to do. If it's a gent and he's claiming that he loves a lady here, back into his mind he will be like, I really need this lady to do whatever I'm ordering her to do, isn't it? So when you switch to the third level of love, this is when you're going to realize that you're going to change that principle and you're going to start being fine with whoever you love because of what they are. I think I'm making sense here. You don't get to the third level of love without critically analyzing whoever you're planning to love. No, you give it time. That's why Imam Shafi'i, as he was trying to guide we youths in line with dating, he made it clear. You do your background check without letting whoever you're dating, or maybe whoever you plan to propose to, without letting them know about your background check. The moment you switch to them to confess the way you feel for them, you're well informed with whatever is vital and primary in line with your values and your disciplines. That's the Islamic guidance. So with this third kind of love, al-wud, this is the ability of whoever is claiming the love of the other to get to learn that you're loving these people sincerely and you're ready to accept them for who they are. If at all you're not ready to do that, you can't even get to the third level of love. Of course, it will end at the first level of love. Reason being, with al-hawa, with the lust, you will easily see a lady who is well dressed in the hijab, maybe with a nice niqabi, something like that, and then you will fall for the lady. After knowing that when she's laughing, she's too loud as she's laughing, the love is now going to get down. That's the first level of love. I think you're getting my point. But if at all you realize that there is something mutual between you, you're sharing some other values together, you switch to the second kind of love. And that's al-alaqa. You feel the attachment now. That's when you get to know that you're two good Muslims together. After some critical analysis, that's when you get to know that you both hate lies. That's when you get to know that you both, you love so and so, if at all you're interacting. Isn't it? So by the moment you switch to the third kind of love, it's just maturing. You're now very ready to welcome whoever you claim you love, to welcome them with their imperfections. How many of married people claim that they do love their wives and husbands and they are still struggling to deal with their imperfections? So the Islamic style is, no, we have no time for that. You deal with all that before you even propose to someone. That's when you will get to analyze someone. You will get to know that maybe this gentleman isn't good in something. And then you will realize, are you ready to give him some time or not? You're still at the first kind of love, something like that. By the third kind of love, the third level of love, you're trying to mature it now. That's when you're going to be ready to welcome whoever you're claiming that you love, to welcome them with their imperfections. How I wish every married couple today considered that as they were dating. And how lucky are you, knowing it right now as you're still dating. This is the right time. Reason being, whoever is dating, irrespective of gender, male or female, everyone will strive to show their best. And the Islamic style is, we are not interested with the perfection, because at least we all agree that no one is perfect. So the moment someone is too perfect and you're not finding any imperfection, something is wrong, for God's sake. Why are they too perfect? They have to give you chance to find out their imperfection, to know, are you ready to deal with them in the third grade of love? Maybe, will you be in position to welcome them with their imperfections? If it's yes, then you're fine to go, you're good to go. If it's no, then probably the dating won't work out. And if you're a gent, you won't even have time to propose to this lady. I think it's making sense. And that's the third level of love. The fourth level, al-kalaf. Kalaf, let me share a funny story. I don't know whether I was the one who was stubborn in my high school. You know that stage of trying to impress ladies, eh? Like maybe when you're told to carry some chairs or maybe desks to a different place, and then you find a guy, who is like, no. Now he's telling a girlfriend, as they claim, it's okay. Let me do that for you, Let me carry for you this desk to wherever you need it. Some hard work for you, and just chill and something like that. This is the style of love now. You've already graduated to another level. Who told you that when a gent comes to you and he's confessing love to you, it's just automatic that he's supposed to do whatever he's supposed to do, that you think? No. It has to mature. If at all he's not ready, al-kalaf simply means whoever is claiming, and it's general. It's not only with those who are planning to get married. It's general. To your brother, to your sister, to your future potential husband, or maybe to your future potential wife. If at all your love isn't backed up with doing some stuff to show that you're in for them, then it has not yet matured. And the good news is, you won't even realize that you're striving. It's only someone who isn't you that will get to know that you're striving. You will find it easy and normal. Why? That's a feeling. It's emotional. And it's one of the blessings of Allah unto us human beings. We love ourselves and we love experiencing love. It's a very beautiful thing. So al-kalaf, being specific with the Islamic style of dating, you don't think of switching to a girl, proposing to them. Or maybe when you're a girl, you're going to propose to a guy. You don't think about that, not until you get to this level of calling off, maybe being ready, of doing some stuff just to see your other partner happy, most especially the one you claim that you love. And the magic is, if at all you dare, this is why I hate westernization. Everything is fake, and we're obsessed with that. Someone switches to you today, and they're like, I love you. Okay, it's fine, you love me. And the following day, they're busy telling you, I can't live without you. Really? In only 24 hours? It's just too fake. And I normally guide my sisters, and I'm like, that's a level of fakeness. No guy will switch to you today, and surprisingly, they don't like that. What they enjoy most is, you switch to her today, and you're like, I love you. The following day, she's expecting you to say, I can't live without you. No, I've not yet got to that. You have to give me a reason to say whatever I'm saying. So the Islamic style is whatever you plan to say in line with dating, it has to be authentic and sincere. If at all you can live without someone, tell that to them. That, sister, the fact is I'm dating you, but my love is still maturing. And it's okay, it's normal. It's better than someone claiming they can't live without you. In just after 24 hours, they are busy falling victim of the first kind of love of emotions. It's more of emotions, they last. And today it's very cheap to sleep with someone. True or false? I'm a graduate of Islamic University in Uganda. Maybe you're going to be graduates of Makerere University and some other universities. It's on record that students in higher institutions, fornication is just too very cheap. Isn't it? To the extent that even some of youths are having the so-called friends with benefit. And that means they can easily give each other calls. Nothing between them. And they will make it clear. I don't love you, you don't love me. But as soon as I feel like playing biology is the very STEM stuff. I don't want to be too vulgar. The biology stuff, you just give me a call, I will be there for you. And after that, no strings attached. There are people that are doing that. So Islam is here to guide us and to save our mindsets from being compromised with other styles of dating that we think are classy, that we think are real. Yet the fact is, they will never be real because they are full of fakeness. And this is the call we normally give. So the message out of here, before I even proceed, is give yourself time. Analyze what kind of love, what level are you in line with whoever is dating you. Is it the last level? And the last level is more of emotions. No decision will ever be a result of emotions. Okujja konga, you're going to regret whatever you're going to decide. Irrespective, are the emotions positive or negative? You will never make any decision primarily basing on emotions unless you must regret whatever you've decided. So Islam doesn't want you to switch to that. That's why it gives you a chance to analyze what you specifically feel for someone. And if at all you analyze that about yourself, it will help you to get to know that what I'm having, what I'm feeling is maturing. Are you in the know that we have married couples that are still attracted to other people? And they are married, which isn't bad. Okay, maybe if at all it was going to stop at the first level, and that's the last level. But how dare you make your love graduate from the first level to the second level to the third level to the fourth level, and you're having your husband besides you, and you're having your wife besides you? Maybe with the gents, maybe it's another second wife, or maybe third wife, or maybe fourth wife. But to a lady, maybe you're not giving yourself time to analyze how you feel about someone. The message today is, one of the factors and messages I want you to take out of here today is, analyze what you feel about someone. Is it love? Is it lust? Is it love with commitment? Something like that. If at all you analyze that, it will help you to know what you're dealing with. Most especially if you get to know some other types of love. Like what? Ash-shaghaf. Now ash-shaghaf is the self-violent love. Mutunga atachisusiza. Those who know the Holy Quran, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was trying to narrate to us the story that happened between Nabiyullah Yusuf and the queen, Allah used the same very word. قَدْ شَغَفَهَا حُبًّا. The love within the queen was violent. It was too much onto her, to a level that she wasn't even in position to control it. You don't want to be there. And it's a shaghaf. It's also another level of love. Surprisingly, you don't even know whoever claims that loves you, is he or she in that violent kind of love or not? And I dare you, if at all you find out that they are in that kind of love, it's your role to switch them and make them normal, because it's not right. You have to be in control of your love. This is why you even have your consolation statements. Love is blind. What does that even mean? I know I'm speaking to academicians here. What does love is blind mean? Anyone with anything? What does it mean? It doesn't ask why. Of course, love doesn't ask why, but after love getting into you, it's your role to use your brain to keep it in position. Yeah. Okay, maybe it will be another session to discuss that. But my point here is, ash-shaghaf, it's also another kind of love. It's another level of love. It's gradually going up. If someone is in that kind of love, they will violently love people. Something like that. These are the people that feel that if at all you don't love them, at least they all lose you. And it's not right. It can't even be right. And it's very close with the last level. Of course, there are very many levels, but I don't want to prolong in that. And the last one is al-huyam, stroke al-junun, obsession. Why do you faint? Because I've missed your missed call. Is it making sense? Why are you fainting? Just a missed call and you're fainting? Something is wrong. And not even brag around and you're like, oh no, they love me so much. They can't even be alive without. Something is wrong, for God's sake. That's obsession. You don't like to be in a relationship with someone that is obsessed with you. True or false? And some narrations, they went clear. Some scholars were like, the queen, by that time, the story of Yusuf, Nabiullah Yusuf, alayhi salam. The queen was also obsessed with Yusuf. And it's not a nice kind of love you brag around with. And guess what? The westernization today has trained us to feel like it's the new normal, not even giving ourselves chance for the love to mature. That's why we are going to still get challenges, wrangles in the first night of nikah, in the first week of after the nikah, in the first year after the nikah, and after a few months, no marriage. Why? You never gave yourself time to analyze what you're going through. And as a Muslim, you don't go for granted. No. You reason, and after reasoning, you fall for whatever you're reasoning about. That's the Islamic discipline. And if you try to get to know all these levels of love, this is where you're going to analyze your love now. Or maybe the love you're going to switch to. I find it funny, a lady getting a phone, no message, she has nothing to tell the husband, or maybe the guy, maybe something like that, and she texts hi, and she is expecting you to say hi with something, isn't it? Maybe now, hi, how are you? And then you will also be expecting her to reply the how are you and say something else, isn't it? But do you really know the level of love that is supposed to back up that? How many of we think that it's our right to do that in the first day after being proposed to? And it can't be right. Why? Whatever you're deciding, whatever you're doing, it's as a result of mere emotions. You have not yet even analyzed critically what you're experiencing. Maybe it's just lust, it's a crush onto someone, and everyone feels that. And it doesn't mean that everyone you're having a crush on must be with you. It's not like that. So Islam is like, you have to give yourself chance to get to know. What are you experiencing? Is it mere lust that is backed up with mere emotions? Or maybe it will switch to the attachment level. Or maybe it will also switch to the third level of al-wud. This is when you feel too close to someone, you feel like you can't, like you share a lot together,
And after that, are you also ready to welcome the imperfections? Can you just imagine, you've not yet even proposed to someone, but you're doing all this survey. Are you going to be ready? The kind of love you're having, will it be in position to allow you hold, deal with the imperfections of whoever you're with? You don't know how many youths are in marriage and they regret whenever they switch to marriage. Reason being, the love they have. They never gave themselves time for the love to mature to the level of the love that will grant them the ability to deal with the imperfections of others. Because if you sincerely love someone, you will welcome them as they are. And if you're not ready to do that, then there's nothing, there's no value in whatever you claim that you're dating. Something like that. So the Islamic guidance is, give yourself time. Analyze whatever you're going through. Reason, for God's sake. There's a reason, I normally say this, there's a reason as to why we don't take alcohol. We have to reason out stuff. Whenever you feel much like you're deciding out of emotions, you're losing it. Give yourself time, back up the emotions you're having with something that is making sense. I request Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide whoever isn't married here with the best kind of analysis when it gets to analyzing their kind of love. I would like to also end the session with two types of love. Those were levels of love. I know everyone is going now to pick where you fall. Maybe your love is still at the last stage. Maybe you're at the attachment stage. Maybe you're there now where you're having many factors that combine you together. Or maybe you're obsessed with someone. Oh no, you don't want to be there. Or maybe you're having the shaghaf, the violent love. You feel like whoever you love has to keep smiling every now and then. Whenever they are sad, you will keep asking yourself, what's wrong with me? Yet the fact is, nothing is wrong with you, but maybe they are poor, and that's why they are sad. But whenever you see them sad, you'll be like, oh, something is wrong with me. What's wrong with me? That's the violent love I'm trying to talk about. And you don't know how many youths, Muslim youths, that are victims of love because they are not reasoning out. They are not making sense out of whatever they are feeling. I request Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us to the best. The message before I switch to the types of love now is the first day. As you feel you love someone, give it time. Maybe it's just a crush. Yeah, give it time. Maybe you're loving them because you don't know how they eat. Maybe you're loving them because you have not yet realized how they match and walk. Maybe you're still loving them because you think they fit your future potential wife. Or maybe you think they have the qualities of your future potential husband. Maybe. And if you just allow the emotions to drive you, you're going to propose to someone, and then after a day, after 2 days, after 3 weeks, you will realize that, reason enough, they don't eat well. They laugh badly. Maybe they move badly. Maybe. But if you give it time, that's when you're going to get reason after reason, factor after factor, that will help you and maybe will help the love to mature as you plan to switch to the dating. Why have I made it a point to discuss love today? Because I believe no one would date without the basis or maybe the foundation of love. And no one would think of getting married without the foundation of love. So I believe if at all we have the ability to analyze the kinds of love within ourselves, it will guide us to build a very strong relationship as we are dating Islamically, and it will help us to also build a very firm foundation of our marriages. Aqsamul Hub. Now love is categorized into two. The philosophers of love, Islamic philosophers of course, they categorized love into two categories. Category number one, Al-Hubb al-Aqli, the kind of love or maybe the type of love that is analyzed or maybe that is as a result of making sense out of stuff. It's more of the brain. An example, when you're sick, you will feel like you love taking medication. And at times medication isn't too sweet, But the reason as to why you're taking medicine, even with the fact that it's sour, you're taking the medicine because you know that after taking the medicine, you're going to be fine. And that's why you're loving the medicine. That's the first category of love. And the magic is that doesn't apply onto human beings. You don't know how many youths are applying that kind of love onto human beings. You don't love someone for what they do for you. No. That love is applied onto materials, properties. If it's a phone, you love the phone because it helps you call someone who isn't where you are. And that's why you love it. The day the phone will stop doing that, that's the day the love will be called off. And that same issue is applied with the one you claim you love. Is if you love them with this type of love, the day whatever you're considering will be off them, you will never love them. True or false? True. And that's the first category. And the second category is al-hubb al-atifi. The kind of love, it's more of the bloody kind of love. It's more of emotions. An example, if you're a father to a lame kid, la qaddar Allah, if you're a father, for example, to that kid, is it reason enough for you to dislike and dislove your kid just because they are lame? You can't. If you're having a brother who is blind, do you call them off just because they are blind? You keep loving them for God's sake. And if it's your kid, nothing is changing. You love them. Nothing has changed. You just keep loving them because it's normal. This is the love that is on default. Someone is your mother, someone is your father, someone is your brother, maybe someone is your kid. It's on default. You're loving them because of the biological traits they're having with you. It's on default. And it's the second kind of love. The sweet news is it's the only kind of love that is applied onto human beings, being more specific, onto people who are attached with you. With the sweetness of Islamic dating, Islam provides another field of love that unites all of us. And I call you to that. Al-hubbu lillah. Loving ourselves for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And only that combines all the levels of love we've discussed. Because if you love me for the sake of Allah, you're literally meaning you're ready to welcome me with my perfections and imperfections. Reason being, if you love someone for the sake of Allah, you're not loving them because of their materials. You're not loving them because they're brothers. It's just automatic. You must love your brother for God's sake. It's on default. But now I'm trying to guide those who are planning to be dating together. You don't love someone not until you think of loving them for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Reason being, Inna Allah la yataghayyar. Allah will never change. And the logic behind that is, if you love me for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the love, if at all it won't be static, it will just keep on increasing. If at all you love me for materials, tomorrow the materials won't be around, and by default, the love will get down. You don't know how many youths are dating, building whatever they are building onto the first love that is supposed to be applied on properties. Maybe if it's a lady, they're looking for a guy who is having a nice apartment, a nice ride, someone who is well established. If you're nothing close to that, you have nothing to say to them. Maybe if you're a guy, what are some of the qualities that are standard that you put for the ladies? You need a lady that is also well established. Something that bubbles into my mind is, today we're even having youths that are looking for ladies who are well established, a lady with a nice ride, a lady with a place of residence, a lady that will take care of me very well, and you want us to give that time, Come on, at least we are to discuss that. I don't know why I'm having a full vibe about this dars, Inshallah, may Allah grant us life so that we still enjoy these other sessions that are to come, inshallah. But what I wanted is, as you plan to date, Islamically, of course, please and please analyze your love that you're having with whoever you claim you love. Being specific, your potential husband or maybe your potential wife. It's very vital. Please consider that. Maybe it's not real. And if it's not real, it's high time you tell them. Tell them that it's not real and let's call it off. It's fine. It's better than keeping whoever you claim that you love behind closed doors, yet something else is happening. It's not nice. So the Islamic guidance is, first of all, you have to be in position to analyze what you're feeling for the other. Is it really love or it isn't? Because with love, love is too beautiful. Yeah, it's just too beautiful. It's something nice. However, today, we even feel shy of loving someone. No, it's not bad to love someone. It's a good, nice feeling. Actually, with the background I've just given you, if you analyze your kind of love, it will even train you to do more for whoever you claim you love. Don't underestimate that. It will train you to that. An example, the levels of love, the most moderate level of al-wud. That's why even Allah used that in the Holy Quran. وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. Allah is the one that is putting the magic of love, the level of al-wud. This love that is full of understanding, this love that is full of welcoming imperfections from others, this love that is just too common with the people that are into it. The kind of love that is going to be there if at all the husband is down, the love will be there on the side of the wife. If at all the wife is down, the love will be there on the side of the husband. Let me mention this before I bring this tradition. Al-hubbu huwa at-ta'bir 'an al-ihtimam. Love makes sense when you do stuff that back up your statement. When a lady is busy preparing some good, nice breakfast for the husband, the feminism today is busy trying to train every lady to call off that, trying to say that even a husband can do that. Isn't it? It's okay, they can do that. No, nothing is wrong with that. But when the love foundation is real, you won't even feel it if you're doing it for the one you love. And that's the magic of love Islamically. But you're going to feel it if at all you adapt the westernization. People are striving with divorces and taking off themselves from husbands just because they're just too fake as they're building whatever they're building. But if at all you analyze your love before you even propose to someone, it's very sincere. Even the husband will not feel a cent as he is busy providing with to the wife. But we are in a world where a husband is feeling a pinch if at all he's getting money to give, for God's sake, to the wife. Really? When did we get to that? But if at all you analyze the love you're having, that love alone that you're having is reason enough to train you not feeling whatever you're giving your wife and whatever you're giving your husband. And that's the magic in love, Islamically. But just because now it's the new normal today, we feel I have issues with feminism. Sisters, I'm very sorry, but I have issues with feminism. Yeah? What a man can do, a woman can do better. I think you've ever heard of that. These are two creatures, differently. The strength of a woman will never be the same as the strength of a man. I can't even think of giving birth. But it's a pride to my wife. She's perfect in that. And she's proud to be a mother. Do you want to give birth just because of that? Why are you thinking that you must do what a man is doing, you must do whatever a man is doing? That's not right. You have to do what you're supposed to do in respect of your nature. It's very fine. But my point is, if you analyze your love today, before you switch, before you even deal with someone in line with marrying you, you have to be in position to know that the love you're having is too real, to the level that you won't get to wrangles as you switch to marriage, or maybe as you switch to the dating funny stories there, you won't even feel it. Reason being, if you love someone, that love will push you to do some stuff. That's why when a guy loves someone blindly, he will get a car and grant it as a gift to a lady, which is okay. Why? He loves the lady. But it doesn't make sense. If at all you analyze it, you'll be like, really? Are you giving a car to a lady that has not yet even accepted to be your wife? It doesn't make sense in reality. But you're doing that because perhaps the love you're having, the foundation you're having, is pushing you to do that. So the Islamic guidance is, give yourself time for God's sake. Analyze the kind of love you're having. If he gives you a car at the last stage, it simply means after sleeping with you, that's the end of the story. And that's the day they are going to come for the keys of the car. That's when they give you that car, when the love is at the first stage. But when they sincerely give you that car, when the love is at the moderate stage we've discussed, it's very fine. They're even ready to leave that car for you in respect of the love they're having for you. Don't dare underestimate the power of love. That's why love is beautiful. So the guidance of Islam is to train youths, Muslim youths, to give themselves chance. Yeah. No one is rushing you. Give yourself chance. Analyze the love you're in. Let it mature. Let it make sense. Yeah? If someone has proposed to you today, it doesn't make sense in 2 days, for God's sake, to start saying statements like, I can't live without you. That statement can never be real. You just get to know that he's saying whatever he's saying just because he doesn't know my imperfections. Maybe he will learn to live without me if at all he gets to know my imperfections. It's only when you get to learn that these are the imperfections of someone, and that's when you get to the third level of love. That's when the love has matured and you're ready to be together at peace. That's where the sweet Islamic dating starts from. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I like to end the session today with one tradition. One day, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam went to Umar, and he was like, Ya Umar, walladhi nafsi biyadihi, I swear upon whoever is holding my heart within his hands. Of course, it's Allah. La yu'minu ahadukum hatta akuna ahabba ilayhi min waladihi wa walidihi. Prophet was like, no one will ever be a believer not until they love me more than they love their parents and than they love their kids. So Umar was just too real, and I loved the way Umar was real. Umar was like, really? Prophet, I have an issue with that. I feel I love my parents more than you. And I feel I love my kids more than you. Am I not a believer? Prophet repeated the same statement. La yu'minu ahadukum. You will never be a believer. Hatta akuna ahabba ilayhi. Not until I'm the most loved to you as compared to the love you have for your parents and as compared to the love you have for your kids. Umar also persists. I have a problem with that, Ya Rasulullah. I feel I love my parents more and I feel I love my kids more. But literally, the love that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam was trying to refer to was al-hubbu al-aqli, the kind of love that is as a result of your brain Because you really know that the Prophet is guidance, is the guidance to the right path. So in all people, you're supposed to love him more. But he wasn't entering into your field of loving your parents, or maybe loving your kids, or maybe, no, that wasn't the point. But the point here was trying to train us to differentiate between these kinds of love. Maybe we're in the world where we are mixing up stuff. I request Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us to the best. Allahumma ameen. Islamic dating and Islamic marriage. I wanted to start from there. Reason being, I think, you never know, if Allah wills, whatever we are sharing might be a reason to inspire a couple here, to inspire someone here, to guide them to date Islamically. But as I'm winding up to switch to the questions story, get to know 3 factors. Factor number 1, the Western style of dating has nothing in common with the Islamic style of dating. Not even close. Put that in mind. That means if at all you're green about the Islamic style of dating and you're busy practicing the Western style of dating as early as now, just call it off. It's not worth. That's one. Secondly, our Islamic style of dating is full of reality. We have no space for fakeness. No. We have to be real. To the level, if you think of saying, I love you to a girl, it's a proposal. Definitely. You want to marry her. If you dare say, I love you too, to whoever has said, I love you, it's a yes. I'm ready, you can marry me. Now, do you know the westernized style? I love you today. For 1 year, you're in I love you, I miss you, I can't be without you. And then after 2 years, that's when you think of going downtown to choose a ring, well packaged. You now stage up something, you let this girl surprise, you call it a surprise. You stage this girl now, you're like, okay, when she's coming from work, I want us to deal with something, maybe let's do this, to propose, whether they are ready to be my wife. You also kneel because it is too romantic. You kneel when you're proposing, and then this girl will also act like they are too surprised. Some even faint. You're fainting. What were you doing 2 years back? So the Islamic style is, we are not ready for that drama. Come on. The day you call me and you're confessing your love for me, it's literally a proposal. You want to marry me. As simple as that. And the day you say I love you too, after some background check, of course, as we are going to see in some other sessions, after maybe next week and the coming weeks, you're literally saying, I'm ready, come pick me from home. The only reason that stops you from getting nikah is getting to know each other. And we are to switch to that. Trust me, the right person is here on the mic. I'm to take you through the Islamic style of dating, and I'm a product of the same Islamic style of dating. And I'm married, of course. I don't even regret of anything because it's full of reality. I request Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us, to grant us the ability to deliver what you expect from us. Allahumma ameen. And then lastly, I really want to get a couple here. It makes sense this semester, brothers here, I was very clear as I was starting the session. If you're here and you're single and searching, this darus will be of sense. If you eye someone this side and you start your Islamic style of dating, every Friday you get a tip and you implement that tip. So maybe today's tip is you try to analyze the love you're having for someone. Yeah, and that's the Islamic style of dating. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. It's not boring. Trust me, the Islamic style of dating is just too real. I request Allah to grant me the ability to give you the right picture of it, just like Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam would wish us to take it. Allahumma
Ameen. I normally even say and make it clear that if at all you are fans of the Islamic style of dating, you can't even cry night and day for someone being your ex. No, 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 no. Reason being, you depart ways with respect. It has not worked out and it's okay. But with the Western side of dating, people are busy in relationships, having that what? That bachitabatia, Okusuala, the shame, How will they see me if we break up and so on and so forth. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us to the best. Any questions or maybe compliments? Every question that is getting in, it's trying to unleash whatever I've prepared in the future sessions. But I think I should give just a hint. Number one, in the Islamic style of dating, if it's not working out, it's not all about not working out. It's all about the reason as to why it's not working out. You feel the magic? Okay, it's not working out, that's something. But what reason do you put on table? The reason as to why it isn't working out. So it's onto that reason that will help you decide appropriately. Yeah? I think it's making sense. I've answered it in a general way. If at all it's not working out, the second question that is on default is, why isn't it working out? So it's the reason you give of not working out. An example, maybe it's not working out because the man is violent, furious. As he gets annoyed, the eyes are red, slaps whoever is around him, and maybe that's the reason as to why it's not working out. Yeah, if at all we get to know that, maybe we are like, if at all they don't go to a therapist, maybe it's high time you call them off and then you look for someone who isn't that. As easy as that. But it depends on the reason you're having, yeah? But I don't want to go in details. Reason being, we have a full session that will handle that, inshallah. The first question was the previous question. Someone asked, the situation of dating more than one. Yeah, more than one. Let me answer it with a question. For example, you are a girl, and a guy comes. The second guy also comes. You're telling both of them, I love you too. And if they ask you, why do you love them both too? You say with authenticity, and you're like, I'm a Muslim and I know what I'm doing. I have a right as a Muslimah to choose of the two who is busy, who competes more, who is doing more, and I go in for them. Oh, no. Let me wrap that all with one principle. The Islamic style of dating, you deal with one person. If it doesn't work out with them, you openly call it off before you open the door for someone else. When a brother, let me use Brother Salah, my senior journalist here, yeah? When Brother Salah gets to a lady and he's like, I'm interested, I want to marry you. If you dare say it's okay, marry me, in Sharia we are like, قَدْ تَمَّتِ الْخِطْبَةِ. The Islamic dating has now commenced. From that point, as early as you're saying, I love you too, you're literally saying, you can marry me. That lady is not allowed to ever open a door for any other guy. Okujja konga, you've made it clear to Salah that we are no more. I've opened a door for someone else. But you have a field, so long as you've not yet given a reply to Brother Salah. I think it's clear. This issue of now trying to pin guys and you're like, oh, you don't have any right over me. You've not yet even married me. Okay, yes, he has not yet married you. But he's supposed to get to know, are you a wife material before he marries you? You feel the point? Yeah, because I've ever heard of a lady saying, ngataswadde na kuswala sebo. Najja na ngamba, Hussein, no guy has a right over me
when he's merely dating me. It's okay. Yeah, no one has a right over you. And then I also said, no one has a right over your staying home when no one wants to marry you. How am I going to know that you're going to be a good wife? If I'm telling you that please walk gently and you're merely walking like you feel like, every leg oppositely, come on. That's reason enough to give me a warning, and I'm like, no, this won't be a listening wife. The same applies to a guy. How do you get to know that a guy provides? Someone who is not even giving a gift, not even a sweet. And you're already consoling yourself that, oh, people change, inshallah is going to change, Allah does magic. Really? No, you don't go for that. You fix all that while you're dating. But what I wanted is, no one, not even a guy. The issue of a guy saying, I can easily date seven girls, trying to choose who is better than the others, we are like, no, come on, that's not good. You choose one, you face with her. If at all it doesn't work out with her, you call it off with respect. Call her auntie and you're like, sister, sincerely speaking, it's not working. Reason being, you argue a lot. And I can't manage everything you're arguing. I just can't manage that. It's okay, and then you call it off with respect. That's the Islamic guidance. And of course, it will be in details when we switch to that. But what I wanted here is, you don't date people concurrently. When you're a girl, you don't welcome 7 guys concurrently. You first deal with one, you deal with the second one, or not even concurrently. If you deal with the first one, it doesn't work out, call it off. Make it clear that it's off. I don't love you. The love is off. I'm with someone else. It's very Islamic. And then lastly, as I wind up, maybe we shall get 1 or maybe 2 other questions as we are taking tea. As I wind up, the Islamic style of dating, in line with that, please and please and please, let it be real. Don't waste people's time. No. If you feel you love someone today, and then you see something onto them that is busy affecting your love, make it a point to them. Tell them you're not smart enough, and I need a smart guy. Be smart. A story of Omar. But why am I opening up everything? Inshallah, in the next sessions, inshallah. Another question.
We're going to take on 2 questions for now. And the rest of the questions, you are going to give them to the Sheikh, such that he can go back. The next package he brings, it will encompass whatever has been asked. So Sheikh, the other question is, I hear there is no Islamic dating, that the only right way is a man has to go straight to the parents of the lady. Dear Sheikh, I request clarity on that.
I have issues with a wrong phrasing of questions. You heard there is no Islamic dating. What you heard was a guy matches to a parent and they discuss about you, isn't it? That is dating already. Yeah, a guy matching to a parent, it's dating already. You need a direct a one-to-one. Let me tell you something. Ntyamu nti nja okweyogeza wanene ebintu bijje binzigweko byenja okwogera mu maaso eyo naye kanjogeremu kano. There are many ways of dating. The first one is a guy declares to your parents or maybe your guardians, and wallahu al-azim, if a guy is as real as that, he wants to marry you. But I'm just too confused with the way we think right now. A girl gets upset with talking to her dad before her. It doesn't mean that you're going to be forced in marriage. No. The guy is busy looking for permission not to speak with you under the bed, but to speak to you in open space. As simple as that. But surprisingly, how dare you spend 2 years without even no one knowing at home, different homes respectively, and you call that dating? That's what you're obsessed with today. You want to see someone today, tomorrow, a year down the road, and no one in her family knows. That's why we have scenarios like the father is already seeing a daughter is 25, nothing like a guy coming to the father. You're busy with other guys behind closed doors. The dad is now worried. Let me look for some other, my friend here, to go with this girl here. Maybe no one is dating, maybe proposing to her. And yet you're there behind closed doors. If you're serious and you need marriage, it's not a point to switch to the dad. And you're like, I want to discuss this and this with your daughter. If at all she accepts, I'm into marriage. As simple as that. Come on, if at all you see that outdated, I will update it the moment we discuss that. But that's not the topic today. Today it was all about analyzing our love, foundation, and so on and so forth. But inshallah, we are to make sense out of that. And some of the other ways of dating, we can easily Islamize it, most especially in the contemporary world today. Yeah? But I don't want to open that field. How can a contemporary lady now, Muslim and Muslimah, date Islamically? Remember, whenever we add the word Islamically, it simply means that we are dating in accordance of the Islamic principles of Sharia. We don't do besides that. Yeah? I request Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us the best. I think we stop with this question. Sibamanyi kwagala. Okay. Yeah, and let me exhaust this as we are taking tea. How do they show love? Two questions before you give in your. Come on, guys. Muntaseko tubaddemu. Kibuuzaffe. Do you really think the way you see someone showing love to someone in a movie is the same way I need to show love to me? That's a question. Secondly, just because you're having a couple that inspires you, the way they love each other, is it reason enough to install the same way onto your partner? You get my questions? My point is, in line with what we've discussed today, everyone has their own particular way they express love to their loved ones. The problem is, having one style. How many of us watch movies? We all watch movies. Okay. Do you know how movies impact our behaviors? Let me prove my point. Do you know a good morning kiss? Do you know a good morning kiss? Yes, we do. Mola katibasa you say, we know kubalaga good morning kiss. Let me explain it. The good morning kiss we see in the movies is you wake up, your wife is here, immediately you give the, isn't it? That is a good morning kiss. How real is that? How real is that? You're busy comparing yourself, your relationship with a couple that is in the movie after brushing their mouths with millions of what? Colgate or maybe whatever brand they use, and then they give this kiss to themselves, of them in a haram way, of course, and then you're like, oh wow, how I wish my husband also does that in the morning. Come on, you're losing it. That the scent, the smell that comes out of your mouth in the morning is horrible, and no one would like to give you that kiss immediately in the morning, isn't it? And I want to wrap this up and by saying, learn each other. Whatever I'm to discuss today and even after in other sessions every Fridays is learn your partner. Not everyone is obsessed with the good morning kiss. You might find a guy that hates it. Not everyone. Allah, I really pity whoever is still single. I pity you. I'm like, oh, how is your life? The reason as to why I pity you is not because they are not there. They are there, but you have a lot you're going to deal with. And surprisingly, you don't like to deal with them as you're dating. You're busy waiting to deal with them in marriage. It doesn't make sense. Everyone has their own way that they want to be loved. Just like everyone might have different ways of saying sorry. Who told you that for a guy to be sorry, they have to kneel down and cry to their cheeks to know that they are sincerely sorry? That's not a principle. Come on. There is a guy who can also be sorry by doing good. Maybe he won't say that I'm sorry, but he will do whatever you've told them to do. And they're also literally sorry. So it's your task as a girl, it's your task as a guy to learn your partner. Not everyone is obsessed with moving in public, holding hands together. Isn't it? You're forgetting the society we are in today. Do you know the jam of people that is in town right now as they're heading back home? Do you know how hectic it is? You're moving, you're on time, and there is a couple busy jazzing romantic statements as they are moving, of course in a romantic way. They piss you off, of course. That's the world we are in. But just because you saw that in a movie, in a world where everything, they're having the pedestrian's way, they have this, something like that. Come on, that's not something to implement here. Why? It's because the society doesn't allow that. But you're busy now judging your partner because he doesn't show you love, just because he doesn't give you a good morning kiss, just because he doesn't cook for you, just because he doesn't do what. Some other stuff. It's because you've not given in time to learn them. Yeah? My wife has her own way of loving her. And it is not the way primarily that works for every lady. And it is okay because they are two different people. Yeah? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because I can't imagine the day we are going to discuss that. That's a full topic. When did a 27-year-old, a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old girl get to know the size she deserves in line with sex? How did you get to that? How did a guy, a 25-year-old guy, get to know the qualities of a lady she deserves, or maybe he deserves, in bed? When did you get to that? And you really think you won't be affected as you switch to marriage if at all whatever you think is supposed to be like the way you know isn't the same way? You don't know how many disappointments people get in the first night of nikah just because they are psychologically trained to believe in whatever they are believing in that isn't real. Those are the problems you're having. We are having a 17-year-old girl right now who is in senior 6, and she is upset with men. She is also saying men are dogs. 17-year-old. That means probably she has tried out something like 5 guys. And you're going to get that lady at campus here. You really think the way you're going to handle that lady is the same way you're going to handle a lady who is still a virgin at campus? There are 2 different stories. That's why Allah made it a point. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Azani la yankihu illa zaniya. No fornicator. A fornicator will always get attached and marry a fornicatress. Ye katufu ako fornicatress yumchala. Yezo bangi unjogedde mbogo, Ke katufu ako. Tekali hiyo. Who is a a lady who fornicates? Asigaza fornicator, Okay, a fornicator who is a man and a fornicator who is a woman, They easily get attached. Do you know why? Naije kali na waliwo je nakwogera ne bangamba katufu. Tekali hiyo. Je kali wabanyi bawukanye, Waliwo abagamba ywe kali kali hiyo. But my point is, halaka eno ngenyumye rabbi katujimalirize, Allah tutegeeza nti a fornicator who is a girl will easily get attached with a fornicator who is a guy. Reason being, things are flowing. I love you today, tomorrow it's a hug, the 3rd day it's a kiss, the 4th day biology, the weekend they're on water together. Life is moving. وَالزَّانِيَةُ لَا يَنْكِحُهَا إِلَّا زَانٍ. A fornicator who is a girl will easily get attached with you who is also a fornicator in guys. Everything will match. You don't want to see Brother Salah, who is a well-practicing Muslim, he's not a fornicator, getting onto a lady who is a fornicator. Who is a fornicator? Wagendo tani kumulangira. This guy doesn't know what to do. This guy isn't good. He doesn't know anything. He's not like other guys. You're already being compared with some other people before even marrying her. That's the magic there. وَحُرِّمَ ذَلِكَ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Allah was like, believers can't be victims for that. No. And of course, when a fornicator makes tawbah, it's another story, yeah? It's not permanent. But my message here today is, you people who are dating, and if at all you think we are going to be wasting time here every Friday evening, think of two issues. One, Wallahu al-Azim, in today's contemporary world, whoever thinks of dating has a lot to deal with, irrespective of gender. If you're a guy, you have a lot to deal with in line with whoever you're going to date. If you're a girl, you have a lot to deal with in line with the guy you're going to date. Don't underestimate that, and be ready as you switch to fornication. Just as that, we have people who are watching porn, and that's why we're having very many statements of tamalako today. Tamalako basically means they're not good in bed. Do you know where it comes from? What do you expect from a girl who has watched porn for 30 minutes? 30 minutes. She is psychologically training herself that she deserves 30 minutes to get to the extreme. And wallahu al-azim, it's going to happen as you get married. But who is ready to spend 30 minutes with you in bed? Who is ready? A normal human being. 30 minutes in bed? You are having a guy who is watching porn for 30 minutes. He believes that he is supposed to do that hard. 30 minutes trying to please you. Now he's marrying you, innocent girl from Makerere University. Very innocent. He wants to do everything he saw for 30 minutes. It's going to be torment to you as you're having today. That's what we are dealing with. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the ability to address all these. And of course, I'm your fellow youth. I'm not very far from you in age. Yeah, I'm your fellow youth. That means I know whatever I'm going to discuss, I know it's happening. Artistically, I'm also updated. I know, at least I interact with people all over the globe. I know what happens that side, and I still choose that Islamic style of dating is on point, like it or not. By the end of these sessions, inshallah, maybe Allah will grant us the love of this style of dating and we fall victim of it. Barakallahu fikum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I thank you all for attending in person. I request Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant you goodness. I'm looking forward to personally get to know each one here. Maybe you're there and I know you, and the girl is also here and I know her, and maybe the girl comes to me and he says that, Hussein, Kayongo is busy, and then I find my own way of. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the best. That's what I want in this halaqah. I will call it a success if there is a couple. It doesn't matter. So long as it's you've inspired us and to symbol the Islamic style of dating. Barakallahu fikum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.